What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Freedom to Explore. If you don't know us, I'm Quest Taylor, and here we have my partner in crime,
Michaelin.
And we are officially digital nomads. If you don't know our story, we're going on an incredible journey over the next 8 months. So we'll be seeing 8 of the most iconic North American cities and staying in those and trying to experience those like true locals. So sadly, we're finishing up our first stop here in beautiful Toronto. As you can see, the CN Tower behind us. And we're here to give you our honest feedback on what it's like to live in a city like Toronto. So
if you've ever wondered what it's actually like to live in a city like this, we will be telling you. We're going to evaluate based on 4 different categories: things to do, food, cost of living, and atmosphere.
The vibes.
The vibes. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to live in Toronto, first category, things to do. So we can't speak for the winter months, but in the summer we had no problem finding things to fill our time, like after we finished working or on the weekends. There's tons of events and festivals happening literally at all times, literally under this bridge right here. There was an art show, a science fair, and a dance battle. Like, what? And the best thing is, a lot of these events are totally free. A lot of the events revolve around eating and drinking, which was perfect for us because those are 2 of our favorite activities. But there's also tons of like cool cultural festivals too. I think we went to like a Chinatown festival, went to a Pan American festival, we did a Celebrate Toronto festival. So there's just like tons and tons of stuff going on at like all times of the day. It's crazy.
So the next part of this is nightlife. The nightlife here is actually incredible. There's always popping, there's always things going on. People are always out partying, having a good time. King and Queen Street are the places to go if you want to go out. Whether you want a casual night out with the girls or guys, or you want a poppin' night at the club, Queen Street's got you.
There are also some really cool things to do outside of the city if you're willing to try. The incredible Niagara Falls is like just an hour drive outside of Toronto, and is for sure worth a visit if you're in the city. It is stunning. And there's also wine country in Niagara, which I had no idea about, but it was so cool. There's literally like 50 vineyards, I'm pretty sure, over there. So if you want to make a day of it, you can go see Niagara Falls in the morning and then spend your afternoon doing some wine tasting, and it's a great day.
If you're willing to go a little bit further, just like 3 hours north is Bruce Peninsula National Park. Absolutely beautiful. Some of the most clear water I've ever seen in my life. So it's a great place to get outdoors, get away from some people, take a hike with some friends. It's really just a stunning place. I really recommend it to anyone who visit here. So overall, there's a lot going on in Toronto at all times. But we're going to knock a few points off here because a lot of what's going on here is the same. There's a lot of just shows, bar hopping, things like that. But there isn't necessarily a lot of diversity in things to do.
But we did like how there was just so much going on at all times and how a lot of it was free activities. So we are going to give things to the Toronto 8 out of 10.
That's it. Category number 2.
The best category.
Food. The food scene in Toronto is absolutely incredible. There is just an unreasonable amount of restaurants in literally every corner and such a diverse subset of foods literally everywhere. I mean, you got everything from Ethiopian food to Egyptian food to Hungarian food. I don't even know what Hungarian food is, but I'm interested. I want it. So on top of there being so many diverse sets of food here, they also apparently can't stick with just one cuisine. They had to fuse literally everything. Like we had a Mexican-Asian restaurant, sushi and taco, literally the 2 best things in the world together. So good. So as far as diversity of food goes, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. It's incredible here.
We ate a lot while we were here, okay? And so some of our favorites, just gonna let y'all know for the next time you're in Toronto. Number 1, Thai food. Thai. Incredible. I don't even really like pad Thai like that, but this was the best meal we had in Toronto by far. Then we went to the cutest little Italian restaurant that had some of the best Italian food outside of Italy at Rosina's. Check them out. Then one of my personal favorites, sushi and tacos at the Ham. Literally, you get a taco and some sushi on the same plate. Those are my 2 favorite foods, and it was like heaven. I don't know how they did both of them really well, but like they did. So, food category, the best food category is sweets. If you know Quest and I, we love our sweets, okay? And Toronto had some absolutely banging sweets. Our number one favorite, Bang Bang ice cream. I'm talking massive cookie sandwiches, the homemade cookies and homemade ice cream, and they just like go together so perfectly. It was so good. Next was iHalo Crunch, and it's that gorgeous black ice cream that you see all over Instagram. So aesthetic. Photos here. And then our favorite, Pandoa's Box. They're absolutely delicious stuffed cookies. I'm talking like a cookie is stuffed with cookie dough, stuffed with frosting, stuffed with brownie batter. That shit was awesome. So food in Toronto, overall taste, quality, uniqueness, creativity, we're gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
So the majority of things we had were really, really good, but there was a few notable ones in there that really knocked our socks off.
So you add in the points of diversity, and we're gonna get Toronto food scene a 8.5 out of 10. Alright, so now for one of probably the most important factors when you are considering somewhere to live, cost of living. So we're gonna be evaluating based on housing costs, food costs, as in like going out to eat, and groceries, and activities.
So you say overall, Toronto is relatively expensive to live here. I think the cost of living is kind of high, but we'll tell you exactly how much it kind of costs to do many of the little things you want to do, so you can get an understanding of what it might cost you to live in Toronto.
We were able to find a really great one-bedroom apartment on Airbnb for about $700 a month. I will say I think we got pretty lucky in finding this place, as it is in a prime location. We are prime walking distance to literally anything we could want. So I definitely think we got lucky. I would say that $1,700 a month is probably on the low end of the spectrum. I'd say if you want a spot like this right in the city center, it's going to cost you more like $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
So much like any other city, if you live a little bit outside of the city, you can save quite a bit on rent. But for me, I think the walkability of the city and the access point of being right in the prime center city is the biggest draw to it. And so I think the cost that you save from living outside, you can just gain right back by living and not having to drive or call Ubers or take a taxi to go anywhere. So overall, the city, like I said, pretty expensive as far as housing, but honestly pretty comparable to most other large cities, particularly in the North American region. So in terms of food, both going out and getting groceries was both rather pricey. So we went to our local grocery store called Loblaws, which we normally spend around $60 to $100 for both of us for the week, which really isn't bad, but we did spend a lot of time eating out. So with eating out, most entrees can range anywhere from like $15 to $25, and then with drinks being another $10 to $15. Typically our bill was around $70, so that added up pretty darn quick. With that being said, you can definitely find some cheaper alternatives if you leave the little center city part we are, and there are also a lot of little niche spots that you can find some cheaper meals, especially for lunch specials, which are always recommended.
Cost of events and activities really depends obviously on what you like to do. Like we said before, there's tons of free activities, which is super, super nice, but there's obviously also ones that you can pay for. You can get like Blue Jays tickets for as little as $10. We went to a few comedy shows, those are usually about $20. Covers for clubs can be like free up to like $50. We found the average to be more like $20. But yeah, you can also take advantage of those free things. So it just depends what you like to do.
So taking everything into account, with number 10 being the most affordable of all places and 1 being the most expensive of all places, we put Toronto at around a 5.
Yeah, we'd say the cost is pretty comparable to most large major cities in the US. Obviously, most of your money is going to go towards housing and food and drinks, and you are able to save in the transit area by walking everywhere, and you can also take advantage of those free activities, so it'll cut your costs as well.
So last up, probably one of the most important factors, atmosphere.
This is a tough category to break down because there are so many factors that go into making up the atmosphere of the city, but let's get started with the overall energy and the vibes. Toronto's got a really vibrant young culture. There's always so much going on. People are always going out, even in like the middle of the day. They're just like always out doing stuff. And before we got here, a lot of people actually told us that they were really like focused on work. It was just like work, 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 no play. But we kind of found it to be the opposite. Like no matter what time of the day, there were always people out at the restaurants, at the bars, going to like the Blue Jays game, just like sitting in the park. So we thought that it was like a really kind of laid back atmosphere.
The next part of this is the beauty of the city. Toronto has an iconic and stunning skyline that you can view from the Toronto Island. Highly recommend anyone do that. But overall here, the architecture here is very modern. It's a very clean city. Just overall very, very beautiful place. A lot of good parks, a lot of good places to hang out like this one right here. So overall, really beautiful city. So only being here for a month, it was really tough to meet new people and really build lasting relationships. But honestly, all the people here were so nice and welcoming to us and really helpful whenever we had questions. One of the things that I did notice that was kind of interesting was that it's a little bit more flashy of a culture. You see a lot of exotic cars, a lot of people are big into clubbing and doing like bottle service and things like that, a lot of designer clothes. But you know, if you like that, it's not a knock, you know? So overall, I give the people around a 9 out of 10. It's a very healthy group of people here. Everyone's very active, everyone's very social, and if you love dogs, everyone here has dogs, so there's no shortage of that.
So overall atmosphere of the city, we love it. I mean, we love this city. It's beautiful. You've got the water, you've got the stunning buildings, you've got tons of parks. It's like a busy, like bustling city, but it's also like kind of tranquil at the same time. Like you got space, you know, you're not all clustered, and I really appreciate that. So overall, we are going to give atmosphere a solid 9 out of 10.
All right, so now the time you've all been waiting for. What is the final score that we give Toronto? What is our real thoughts about it? Drum roll, please. So we give Toronto a 7.6. So Toronto is an incredible city, but due to I think its pricey factor, I think it's brought down the score a little bit here. But like we said before, there's a lot of free things to do as well, a lot of good cheap places to eat as well. So I mean, that kind of brings it up.
Yeah, I mean, we really couldn't have asked for a better place to start our digital nomad journey. It is beautiful. The city is incredible. Food is amazing, and we'll be back. That's all I gotta say.
We'll 100% be back. I think it's just really interesting. You know, I feel like Toronto isn't really one of those places people really talk about much. But now that we've been here and done this,
Underrated.
Way underrated. You people need to come here.
You gotta go here.
People
In
need
the
to come.
summer, though.
In the summer. I don't know about the winter. I don't mess with the cold. We don't do the cold, so.
Thank y'all so much for watching. By the time you see this, we'll actually be in our next destination, so stay tuned for that. We will be doing these little reviews everywhere we go, so you'll get all the deets no matter where we are.
That, I really appreciate you all watching. If you like this video, go ahead, smash that like video. If you want to see us add some other sort of criteria to this video, drop it in the comments below. And of course, hit that subscribe so you know the next time we drop a video. Again, we really appreciate it. Peace out.